Criminals, exactly, mate. Well, do you know what I was going to say to you? I was actually thinking a wee bit about George Galloway earlier on, and it just came to my mind. Like, a lot of people point out the fact that when it comes to 9/11 and things like that, he's not very accurate, right? And I put it forward. I put the argument forward that I think he's well aware of what well aware of the bullshit that happened at 9/11. But on the other hand, right, a good analogy is, right, if you're standing behind the door and you're shouting at somebody in the room, telling them to come out because there's something really bad behind the door, and you're standing there and you see it's like a green alien, right? And you know if you shout into that room, look, there's a green alien there, they're going to think you're mental and no listen to you. So you're just going to say, right, there's a really scary man with a big fucking axe. Do you know what I mean? So he's diluting it down so that he doesn't fucking get people to switch off with the conspiracy bullshit. I think
Absolutely.
because there's no way
Yeah.
that he's on the right side of this, mate. He's aware that fucking 9/11 was to perpetuate all these wars, man.
Yeah, but he's a politician.
Mm.
Yeah.
And he still takes his Parliament paycheck. I'm pretty sure. I don't. Probably gives it to charity or something, but.
Over recent times, we've had a bit of back and forth, perhaps. A bit more forth than back, but. And he is definitely a politician.
Well, are you aware of his sort of like, he was born in Dundee, right? Catholic upbringing. A lot of people now say he's a Muslim. During
Oh, fuck off, bollocks. A lot of people say what?
I've heard
He's a
people,
Muslim.
I've heard people calling him a Muslim.
Well, okay. George has absolutely, categorically stated, and I won't be able to go back and tell you.
Mate, it's irrelevant to me to be.
Categorically stated that he isn't a Muslim.
It's irrelevant to me to be honest. It's absolutely irrelevant to me. It means nothing to me.
It's irrelevant to him, probably.
It means nothing to me, man. Whether he believes in that fairy story or another fairy story, man, it's like people believe in what they want. It's irrelevant. He was so. I know that he was quite active during the poll tax with Tommy Sheridan. And he was. That's where he became a Labour MP. I'm pretty sure now. I've not looked into this recently, only going on my knowledge I've had for years. But I'm pretty sure it was during the poll tax and things like that. Him and Tommy Sheridan came to the forefront. Sheridan went down the socialist route, and Galloway went down the Labour route, and so on and so forth. So he's definitely got some principles there, but he went into the Labour Party. But he went into the Labour Party when the Labour Party were still red, mate. They were still commies in disguise, basically. Do you know what I mean?
One man's socialism is another man's fascism.
I hate all the brackets. Why can't? Because like I would have a
They
social.
all just admit that they're all cunts.
All we need to do, right, mate, I swear to God, you're right when you say that me and you think the same, because I was thinking the other day, how can you solve it all? We all just need to admit that we're all cunts in our own way, right? Lots of everybody has their own, like the fucking, the skinheads will call the hippies cunts, and the hippies will call the skinheads cunts, so on and so forth, the blacks, the whites, everybody, the Rangers, the Celtic, everybody will call each other cunts, right? But at the end of the day, why? Because there's people at the top want to control everybody. They're forcing these people together and allowing the war and the hatred that it perpetuates to control them, rather than just admitting, let's go back to tribalism, right? See, you's bunch of cunts that believe that cunt stuff. Go over there and be your cunts over there, and we'll just agree that we'll just all allowed to be cunts in our own wee ways. Just stay out of each other's way, and then what you'll find. And I'm not talking about race. I'm not talking about race, mate. See when
Each other.
aye. See when people talk about see when people talk about race to me. That's when you start being racist. I literally only see one human. I only see one race, and it's
There
the
is
human.
only one race. There is only one race. There's no two ways about it. I had this conversation with the local shop owner, near where I've just moved into, and he's a Muslim guy, yeah?
Mhm.
We had an incredibly good philosophical conversation about religions. And he's a Muslim, like I said, and I'm non-religious. I'm a-religious, as in I don't have a religion. But I am spiritual. I feel that we are spiritual beings having a human experience.
Right, as long as you
Yeah.
mate, I won't stop you on your train of thought there, but as long as you don't hit it out with the Alex Jones shit, like we're stuck to a fucking rock travelling through the space.
I won't do that.
Mate, well, I'm really interested in the way where you're at with that stuff, man, with your meditation and stuff like that. Seems to put you in a good mind space.
Yeah, it does.
Well, mate, I think it's time I should tell it. Like, I just started recording this 5 minutes ago, so I'm going to put this up, man.
Yeah.
This is going to be this is going to be, what do you call that? A precursor to the show that we'll do on Flipping the Pyramid one day.
Okay, then what?
Are you still at? How long are you back in your wee abode there for, mate?
Say again.
How long are you back there for?
Probably tonight, over tomorrow, and then back up at my mates after that.
No worries, man. So it was interesting to see what's happening with Putin, man. He's just played Obama an absolute blinder, and I don't know if I've been watching the wrong news streams this morning, but it appears to me that Obama's the laughingstock of the vast majority of the world right now, and
I think it goes without saying that, like you said, Putin was sort of playing him like how did we put it before? A fine Russian violin. But then they both work for the same people, or they're both sort of funded by the same despicable, nasty characters.
Well, Nick, it's funny you bring this up. Like, a lot of people say this to me, right? When I'm talking about World War III and the fact that America / NATO and Russia and / China are going to war, and they're like, well, it's just a show, because they've got the same paymasters, and like I'm well aware of that, right? But what you've got is like two coexisting corporations in a sort of a economic war where they use bombs and bullets to become the biggest corporation. The people above them don't care who rules, whether it'll be like the China or Russian sphere of influence or whether it'll be American sphere of influence. They don't care because they're making money either way. And that's why I hate when people paint Putin as the good guy. He ain't a good guy. He still wants to enslave you. He just wants to get his slice.
Yeah, they're all in it for the pocket the money. They're all attempting to become part of the club. Surely, we can see this, can't we? It goes without saying.
I would say they all are part of the club, Nick.
But I think they're all trying to get in there themselves. Like Tony Blair was trying to get in there, and I think he sort of paved his way through by killing loads of people
Well,
in the Middle East, and
I
they then made him the peace envoy for the Middle East.
Orwellian. Well, Nick, it reminds me of a really good analogy, and it's like if you think of like a big bunch of gangsters, right? All competing gangsters, all the head gangsters get round a poker table and they're all sitting there playing poker, right? Now they all hate each other, and out with that poker table, they're hitting each other for territory, for money, for this run, for that run, so on and so forth, right? Now you call that the governments of the world, right? And I would say Putin and Obama are around the same table, right? They're just competing gangsters, right? Over territory with Gazprom and Shell and so on and so forth. That comes into the conclusion. But at the end of the day, if the gangsters are sitting around that table and the good guys, right, and in this analogy, the good guys are the police, right, but take that with a pinch of salt. If the police come bursting in that door to arrest all those gangsters, all the gangsters are going to train their guns and shoot together and act together and shoot the good guys. And fight together to bring down the good guys. So in the same sense that if there's any fucking genuine worldwide movement that just abolished the slavery of money and usury, right? If there was ever a genuine, Putin would be as much against it as fucking Obama and Cameron and the rest of the cretins. And I think that's a point I try and get across.
Yeah, of course. But I went to see the Police and Crime Commissioner in our area yesterday, and put to him some very difficult and testing questions, about the state and what it attempts to achieve, and basically he had to concede to absolutely every question. I would have loved to have had the balls to take a camera in. Yeah.
Well, I'm grown.
It was good fun. It was good fun to go and question one of these people. That's like £100,000 a year we pay that man, by the way. £100,000 a year, right? And then you've got to look at what it says in his title. His title is Police and Crime Commissioner, right? So without police and without crime, he wouldn't have a job, yeah. But then he proceeded to say to me at some point, well, my utopia, after I told him that I was a utopian anarchist, he said his utopia was for there to be no crime as well, yeah. Mm-hmm. But then when I proceeded to tell him that. It's my understanding that without the state, there would be quite a lot less crime, if not none whatsoever. I tried to explain to him about how the indoctrination of our children, straight away, from being 4 years old to, actually it's lower than that now, isn't it? They go in sooner. Other people are looking after our children a lot earlier than 4 years old these days.
Nick, people don't understand that the police and the justice system is a racket in the sense that now, if you say, for instance, I've got a company who repairs smashed windscreens, and I've got a company right in the middle of town. Now, would people be surprised if right in and around my company there would be a hell of a high concentrated amount of car windscreens getting smashed? I would be making a fortune, but would anybody question the fact I may be the one out smashing the fucking windscreens? And don't people understand that when you get a corporation and people making money, which the courts do from what they try and project as justice, they're making money for it, and they've then got an incentive to go out there and fucking create fucking criminals out of people that want to do nothing more than take a seed, put it in some soil, grow it and fucking smoke it. It's a joke, a scam, a racket. They're no different than fucking the gangsters that fucking go around shop fronts, mate. Do you know what I mean? And even what you're saying about school, it wasn't good enough getting them indoctrinated at 5. They had to put enough pressure on fucking wages and families and all. Women need to go out and work. So the kids are fucking left at the state for the mercy of 2-year-olds when they're in fucking nursery.
It's a fucking disgrace, isn't it?
And when you point out the absolute reality that it literally is a fucking racket, mate, and people don't see it, man.
But why can't people see it?
I don't know.
Why can't they see it, kid?
It's willful ignorance, mate.
Yeah, you see, the thing is, people are comfortable. People are comfortable now. Yeah? But it's all gonna come to a fucking... the house of cards is falling down, pal.
Nick.
You know what I mean?
We've got 10 seconds left in this one, but I'm definitely going to continue it because this has been a brilliant wee blether, man. So stop the rot, flippingthepyramid.co.uk. Catchies.